Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this 15th day of May 2017. I want to read you a letter that is going to the President today in anticipation of his visit to Israel a week from today on the 22nd of May. It's a letter sponsored by the ACLI, the American Christian Leaders for Israel, and it's very specific as to the request that's being made to President Trump. I want to read it. Dear Mr. President, thank you for your leadership of our nation, especially the way you are working to keep your campaign promises. We write to respectfully request that your swift action to fulfill a special promise that you made, and also one that the United States made more than 20 years ago to one of our closest and most important allies, Israel. We believe the time has come at long last to uphold the American law by moving the U.S. Embassy to Israel's eternal and indivisible capital city of Jerusalem. The Jerusalem Embassy Act of 1995 declared, and I quote, "The city of Jerusalem is the seat of Israel's president, parliament, Supreme Court, the site of numerous government and ministries, social and cultural institutions," end of quote. It also noted, and I quote again, "The United States maintains its embassy in the functioning capital of every country except in the case of our democratic friend and strategic ally, the State of Israel." Upon its enactment in October 1995, this legislation established in statute that indeed Jerusalem is the capital of Israel and that the U.S. Embassy should be moved there by May 31st, 1999. Sadly, every U.S. president since then has taken advantage of a provision of the law allowing its requirements to be waived for 6 months if, quote, necessary to protect the national security interest of the United States, end of quote. Such suspensions have been repeated semi-annually for 2 decades. And it's time to end America's doublespeak. And I say again, it is time to end America's doublespeak. The Republican National Convention's official 2016 platform rightly stated, and I quote again, "We recognize Jerusalem as the eternal and indivisible capital of the Jewish state and call for the American Embassy to be moved there in fulfillment of U.S. law. Moreover, we are honored and grateful that you pledged to specifically uphold this policy in response to a request from the American Christian Leaders for Israel coalition during your campaign. Many of our constituency voted for you due to this commitment. We voted for you because of this commitment. Now we ask you to send a message early in your administration that the United States will indeed honor its strongest and only true democratic ally in the Middle East by respecting its capital city, Jerusalem, and immediately moving the U.S. Embassy there. Implementation of the 1995 Jerusalem Embassy Act should not be delayed nor made contingent on any future peace agreements. Thank you for your consideration and your leadership as President of the United States." That's specific. That's very, very specific. And to give you some context, biblical context, God's perspective on this issue. In Psalm 137, verses 5 and 6, God says this, "If I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget its skill. Let my tongue cling to the roof of my mouth, if I do not remember you, and if I do not consider Jerusalem my highest joy." Jerusalem is God's highest joy. And I would ask that you would join me in intercessory prayer, that President Trump will agree with God, and that he will consider Jerusalem his highest joy, and declare Jerusalem the undivided capital of Israel, and move our embassy, the American Embassy, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Amen and amen. Now until next week, Od Kiev O Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Yivaraka Yahweh. Yahweh bless you, bless those you love, bless those who love you.